What's up? My name is Drew Schroeder, and in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly my whole setup, how I have it set up, and what I use. In case you want to be an influencer, or if you want to start a podcast, if you want to start making content, this is the video that you will be able to go to and just learn everything that you need to just have everything set up. So who am I to tell you how to be an influencer or how to start a podcast? I took film class my senior year in high school, and I have used those techniques. And I've learned some more stuff since. Here is a 7-second snippet of a music video that I did for a school project 14 years ago.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows.
As cringy as that is, I use the same elements as what I'm going to be teaching in this video, okay? And I have learned a lot in the last 14 years. I have gone viral. I've gone viral several different times, and I can proudly say I was one of the first kids on the internet to actually try the cinnamon challenge.
Alright, let me take off my jacket for this shit. My hoodie, whatever. Fine. I'll show you how a real man swallows cinnamon.
And I've done a lot of detailed things, like I recreated 1-to-1 ratio of the Breaking Bad intro for my brand, A Chubby Cucumber. Would you believe me if I told you it took over 5 hours to do that 15-second intro? I put my heart and soul into my videos. And here's a clip of a commercial that I did called Splendid Spoon, which is a vegan meal prep food delivery service. Even as a vegan chef, sometimes I struggle to find times to meal prep. I've been waiting so long for someone to come out with an all plant-based food delivery service. Then I finally stumbled upon Splendid Spoon. I've pulled elements from all of the different industries, all of the different equipment. I'm going to teach you a lot of the very inexpensive but effective things. There's a lot of people that say, oh, you don't need expensive camera gear and you don't need expensive audio tapes and stuff like that to make it really big or to have really good content. Although it's possible, but it's really the better quality if you can just invest all of your money all at once, honestly. The better. If you just have like a few things, you just need a few $100s to set everything up, and then you're just set. And if you have, say, like an accent wall like me, it's going to help so much better. And I even have, check this out. Look at that. Like I said, I'm going to show you everything that you need to know when it comes to being an influencer or starting a podcast or whatever you want to do online. Especially in the day of like AI technology where you can just manipulate things. Like, you know, if you want to soften your voice or if you want to get rid of the pop filters in your voice, although that stuff is out there, the more things that you can do pre-production, the less work you have to do post-production. And it just makes things a lot easier so you don't have to go back and refilm some of the things. Because I can't tell you how many times I've just scrapped an entire video because one thing was wrong. So if you have the proper setup, then you won't have to worry about all that kind of stuff. And you don't have to worry about like the correct lighting because everything is already set up for you. First and foremost is the camera that I have. Now, I have a Canon G7X Mark III. And what I really love about this camera is that it is the YouTuber camera. And the best part about it is it's super inexpensive and it's one of the best point and shoot cameras that you can ever get. And I say this because there's people like Casey Neistat that talk highly about a point and shoot camera if you want to just, you know, borderline base, which is what I use, and I'm filming on this camera right now. The downside is that it can shoot in 4K, but I just tried shooting in 4K for the first time about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was terrible. Now, although it says it can do 4K, it can only last about 8 minutes before it really shuts down, and I had to pretty much scrap the whole video because my camera just kept on overheating. The good news is that the 1080p looks super solid. I mean, look at this. There's a few things that you can add on top of it. Underneath it, I have a UURig, which just screws into the bottom of the camera. And what I like about it is you can also still mount it to your tripod. And on top of that, I have a Movo VX-R10, which is my camera shotgun mic, because when it comes to the onboard cameras, right, a lot of the things, even when it's on your laptop or on your camera or on your phone, they're really good, but they could be better. So that's why I use a shotgun mic. And I'm going to list everything just down in the description of this video. So that way, you know, you'll just have everything. If you just don't even want to watch this video, if you know how to set everything up, that's what you do. The UURig, what I really like about it is that it's much easier for you to be able to unhinge and then take out the memory card and to take out the battery if you need to do that. And also it has a rig where you can slide in your microphone. Something else that you might really want to consider just in case your laptop does go bad, and that is 4 terabytes works. It's only about maybe $100 or so, but I promise you, you're gonna be filling up your SD card and you might put it on your laptop and then things might not transfer correctly or what have you. I promise you, if you organize your business or your personal assets onto, and this is my second one, an external hard drive, it's gonna save you a lot of time and it's gonna save you a lot of anguish when your laptop crashes and then you lose everything. So it's better to just have everything backed up onto an external hard drive. I have 4 terabytes. Here's another thing that you probably didn't expect, and that is one of these doohickeys. You can hook it up to your laptop right here, and then you will have so many more different you will have so many different ports that you can add on, because I feel like laptops nowadays, they want to like seem so nice and fancy with like their minimal ports. Like we don't have a 3.5 millimeter jack. Why don't you have an audio jack on stuff anymore? Phones, I completely understand because you can just use Bluetooth, but this will save you so much time. They got an SD card slot. I'm going to link this also down in the description. Next thing I'm going to be talking about is the Movo VX-R10, and it comes with a windscreen, although I don't really use the windscreen that much, because if it's one thing I learned about shooting outside or in public is if someone is passing behind you, whether if you're in Las Vegas or if you're in the middle of nowhere, if someone passes behind you or if you're, you know, there's traffic going on, people are going to be honking because they just want to ruin your shot. That's why you will probably never see me shooting out in public, because people love to honk their horns, or they love to flick off the camera, or they love to peace sign and stuff like that. And that's so distracting for the information that I'm trying to get to you. So that's why I love to shoot just in my office. Next, along with the camera, super important is your SD card. And if you're going to be shooting on something like a G7X Mark III or something similar, you need a high quality SD card. I feel like a lot of influencers, they just don't talk about SD cards. I use the SanDisk, which is the Extreme Plus version. I use 64 gigs, although it does run out of space a lot, but that's why they make more SD cards, so that way we can be buying them. And not to mention that they're not too expensive. I feel like if you're going to be shooting, especially in 4K, you can't use like a 2 gig card. And this is really important, and it will drive you nuts if I don't give you this advice right now. And that is, always have backup batteries and have one charging while you have another one, because even while I was filming this video, the camera died. The good thing about the G7X Mark III is that it has a USB-C, so you can just hook it up to like a charger while it's recording, and you will have infinite amount of time to be able to record stuff. Next, I'm gonna be talking about my tripod. Now, you can use pretty much any kind of tripod. What I really like about this specific Manfrotto tripod is that if I wanted to, just with the blink of an eye, I can just shift it over to one side. It's super maneuverable. It's a 365-degree view. It just works great. I have a whole bunch of different kind of tripods, like this right here. This came with something. I don't even know where I get all of these tripods. But one thing I like to have is, for one, a camera bag full of stuff. And also one of these things, one of these sticks, so that way if I need to fix my camera, I can. It also has a squeegee on the other side. You don't want to be smudging with your finger. You can just use this and smudge it out of the way. Or, you know, if you're at the beach filming, then you can just kind of like brush it off. Only costs a couple of dollars, but it will stop you from scratching your lens. Also, I feel like having a little phone mount is just going to be the best thing ever. Like, I have a lot of camera gear. I have this tripod mount that I'm not using. I will never use for the camera that I'm on now for my Canon G7X. But I use this for, say, if I want to do like a camera mount, or obviously for the ring light, which I basically never use anymore because I have such a really good lighting system. But if you do want to just film with your phone, get one of these things. Probably like $5 or $10 depending on where you buy it from. As long as you got a really good phone, which I have the Google Pixel 7 Pro, it'll work. I kind of don't like the fact that it's really flimsy, but if you are feeling very daring, this is a really good thing. The only problem that I kind of don't like about this is that sometimes the metal wire can push the buttons on the side, but if this is all that you can work with, this can work, except for there's only so much that it can really handle because of the weight. There we go. Much better. And so if you want to like do some live performances, or if you want to just like work off of your phone, like purely off of your phone, that's doable. But I would highly recommend that you get a camera separated from your phone, just in case that you do start recording and you get something really good and then someone starts calling you, or if you forget to hit do not disturb and then people start calling you and your phone starts vibrating and it ruins your whole shot, it will ruin your whole day. Next, of what I really like to have, because I'm so tall, I'm 6'3", so I like to have a standing desk, and not just because I love standing, just because when I am standing up and I'm filming videos, I can be a lot more animated when I'm talking to the camera rather than, you know, if I'm just sitting down like this. Like, yeah, I mean, this could work. You know, just having a sitting desk. By the way, my desk actually moves up and down if I wanted to. Looks nice, doesn't it? So if I wanted to, I could film my videos just sitting down, but there is a lot of reasons why I like to stand up and make my videos. For one, it puts me in a better state of mind when I'm up and animated. Same thing with you. We have a mind-body connection. Emotion is created by motion. So when you're working standing up, you actually retain more information and you'll just feel better rather than if you're just slouching over on your desk on your laptop. No tripod is actually tall enough for me because I'm so tall. When I'm standing up, I have my camera tripod on my desk, and that's how I film. This is also a big deal when it comes to filming, and that's having an actually good laptop. I used to have some really bad laptops that just didn't have a really good processor. So if you're doing something like film production, when it comes to, and if you like Apple products, then M1 should work. As long as, you know, you're not doing some Michael Bay type of editing, then you'll want to upgrade to the M2 chip for now, you know, in 2023 or 2024, whenever you're watching this. But basically what I use, Thinkpad, is like such a good business tool for, especially when you're first starting out. Thinkpad, this was about $1,000, and it has lasted me a couple of years at this point, and I love this laptop. I'm definitely gonna be buying another Thinkpad when this one goes to poop. What do I like about this Elgato Wave 3? Is that, for one, it's for gaming. So you could scream as loud as you want. I'm using the microphone right now. And it also has a built-in pop filter. So I could pop, 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 and it cuts out pop. Hey, pop, 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 pop. Pop, pop. So I can scream into it. And the best part is that it's really inexpensive. And this is It's not perfect. It's not for like studio quality where you can, be playing music into it, but it's really good podcast mic. It's kind of built for gaming, so that way when people are screaming and gaming. So, and there's so many more built-in features that it won't blow out your speakers. It will compress it, and then you can work with it as much as you want. So when I am screaming, it actually doesn't redline. It compresses it a little bit more, so that way you get the full audio and it won't like take an advantage of your ears. A boom arm is going to be working best. I feel like that this is all over the place. Hold on. It's really good. It's only like $20, or you could get like a built-in stand or something. So, but personally, I like the boom arm because it's easy to manage. I can manipulate it in any way that I want. And what's really good about the podcast Elgato Wave 3 is that it takes USB 3. So I love it. I love everything about it. Except for, like I said, it's not like studio quality, so you can't really be playing the guitar into it and expecting really good results. But it works. It's really inexpensive. You don't have to spend like $1,000 or anything. This is, I think this was like $200 when I first got it. Now it's like maybe $120 by the time you're watching this video, maybe even $100. I don't know. This is the quality of my shotgun microphone right now that's hooked up to my camera. And just for like a sound difference test, this right here is the quality of the Elgato Wave 3 that I recommend using for, gaming or podcasting. If you're doing reaction content, this is a really good starter microphone. And, I feel like a lot of people have the Yeti Snow microphones and stuff. Although that they sound good, this definitely sounds a lot better. And it has a lot more technology in it. I would spend the extra money. Don't get the Snowball or Yeti microphones. They just don't sound good at all. This sounds good enough. And that's really all you need for like basic videos that you're putting on YouTube, or if you're putting it on like TikTok, or if you're putting it on Instagram. When it comes to audio, I personally like to use a shotgun mic, which is what I have on the camera. But you could also use a lavalier mic. The problem with the lavalier mic is that if you're going to be using one, it's really best if you're going to use a wireless lavalier mic, because when you use a wired lavalier mic, the cord, I promise you, every single one of them, it picks up on the microphone. So make sure it's just like a little clip that you put on, and then it remotely syncs to like your camera or to something else that captures the audio. But the problem with that is you got to make sure that it's actually on. Just because I have my shotgun microphone hooked up to my camera, I don't have to worry about any of that. And it's one directional. It's just going to capture just coming straight at me. That's why I love shotgun mics so much. I don't have to worry about it picking up the whole room. The thing is with the shotgun microphone is that I just have to be in distance depending on what type of shotgun microphone that you're going to be using. Also, you have to really protect your sound, because sound is super important when it comes to filmmaking. It's the most important thing. Second is video. And then third is pretty much the content itself. Why would I listen to something, or why would I watch a video if the audio sounds potato quality? Like the video you saw of the Leslie Gore's Sunshine, Lollipops, and Rainbows, that was an actual 480p that I uploaded. And the audio sounded really good. I don't know what your office is going to look like or your situation. So here's some ground rules. It's a really good idea to be in a carpeted. As much as I hate carpet, it works best when you're filming because it absorbs all of the sound. And if you have hardwood floors in your office, then what you can do is you can get these cheap little acoustic foam. I was using this before, and it kind of works, but I feel like I have this set up and I have the carpet set up, and when I redid my office, I made sure that sound quality was so much better. I designed my office specifically for content creation. And also, the light blockers that I have, that I'm going to be showing you soon, It's really going to help protect the echo and reverb coming off because windows reflect audio like no other. So when I installed the carpet into this room earlier this year, I made sure that I had it a really good quality carpet that is very fluffy, that's going to absorb the sound and not just reflect like hardwood floors or tiles, because tile is definitely going to reflect, especially if you have like a poor quality microphone. And these are some of the things that you might be able to fix in post-production using AI technology now. But like I said, all of these subscriptions to all of these different AI tools, they add up. So instead of just spending, hundreds of dollars over the course of like a couple of years, you can just spend like $200 to get really good, easy carpet, or just $20. And you can get like a whole package full of these, and you can just put these on the wall. Now, when it comes to acoustic foam, there's a few different ways that you can put them on. You can use spray glue, you can use adhesive glue that you paint onto the wall. Me personally, I used M3 stickers, and like I said, I don't use them anymore because the fact that I have my light blockers and I have the carpet, it absorbs most of the sound, as you can tell. And it sounds so good. And when it comes to gluing these things to your wall, if you do or don't want to do it, you have to remember that there are caveats to every way that you put these on your wall. So I use these M3 stickers that you can just peel off. I'll tell you what, it ripped off the paint on my walls, which did not make me very happy. Even though it's not supposed to, because you're supposed to pull it like that, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work all that well. Other people, I've seen that they've like glued on and then they stuck it on, and that could work. I've seen people use thumbtacks. Don't use thumbtacks if you're going to be having it in the background of your videos, but like behind the camera. The point of the acoustic foam is that it captures the sound. And if I'm speaking into the microphone, I don't want it to bounce off the wall and hit back on the microphone. That's one of the reasons why I use a shotgun microphone, is because it's pointing at me and not at the wall. But one thing that I have realized is like, and it just makes so much sense to me, is that when people spray glue, that I heard it just doesn't hold up as well as it should. But like I said, I really don't need to use acoustic foam anymore because of the system that I've set up between my carpet and my light blockers. This is how I have my lighting system set up. I have a box light, which they can get pretty expensive, but you don't have to get too expensive. You just need like a white light source, and that's going to be your key light, meaning that it's the key. Like that's the main light that's coming at me. And then off to the side, it can be 45 degrees behind you, like just over your shoulder, pointing at your shoulder, or directly 90 degrees on the side of you. And then you have a backlight to brighten up the background. This lighting system is going to be so much easier than if you have a ring light. And that's what I'm using right now. Ring lights, they're good, but they're good for beauty tutorials, and that's not what we're doing here. Who knows? Maybe you are making a beauty tutorial, like makeup and stuff like that, where you can like, hi, look at me, look at this new product that I'm putting on my face right here. The thing is that ring lights, they can really blow out your face. You don't get anything in the background. I want to see in the background. It looks like I'm in a padded room right now, and we don't want that. Let's just cut off the ring light. Let's do the 3-point lighting system. It's so much easier. This is just using my key light, which is just the box light. And I have it just off to the side right here at about, I'd say like 45 degrees in front of me. Then I'm gonna turn on my fill light, and it's going to kill the shadow, and it's gonna make me really pop out. What I like about this fill light is it's super cheap. It's only like 15, 20 bucks. You can probably get it for like 10 bucks. And I set it to 900K, and I have it on a stand pointing down at me. I have this stand. It's not a tripod. I guess I could use it as a tripod. It's got the camera screw, but you can have it pretty much mounted any way that you want. And I have it just above my shoulder and pointed down at my shoulder to either slightly behind me or exactly 90 degrees. Now, you can't have it too close to the shot, and it is maybe about like 2 feet away from me when I'm turning it on right now. Now that we have the key light and I have the fill light to kill the shadow, we want to like make the background look really nice. And apart from just the wall tiles that I use, although the wall tiles are really nice, I use LED lights just because they look really nice. And I'm going to show you my LED lights up here specifically. Look, I have a camera mount that I can screw into anything, and I can turn it whatever color that I want. This, it can swivel if I want. I can even mount it to my camera using the UURig, but I like to have it mounted on my ceiling and pointed down. I could have it down below to give it a different effect for different shadows. If you don't want to mount it to your ceiling. If you want to like leave your house but make it seem like that the TV's going off so that way people don't break into your house because they think that you're watching TV, this is that effect. And there's a whole bunch of other effects on here too, like in an ambulance or a police car and stuff like that, but I'm not really gonna get into it. For example, if I have my RGB lights going really fast or even really slow and I do a jump cut like this, then you can totally tell the difference and it kind of ruins the congruency. So I like to have one long uniform color. Also, I have blackout curtains so that way I control the lighting, not nature, because nothing is more annoying than natural lighting and then a cloud passes by and it kind of ruins the shot and it puts you out of autofocus, especially if you're using the Canon G7X. The Mark III is better than the Mark II when it comes to autofocus, but it's still not perfect. So no matter what camera you're using, sometimes shadow can screw up your autofocus. I have my fill light right here. Up here, I have my backlight, shines down for the shadows. And then I have an accent wall, so if I want something different. And I also have my box light. This was a gift for me. I don't know the brand, but it doesn't matter. As long as you get like one, that's all you need is just 1, 2, 3 lights. So once you learn how to set up your lighting system, which is super easy, it only takes a few minutes. You have the lighting, you have the camera, you have the microphone, you have a different microphone in case you want like a backup. You're pretty much all set up. That's all you really need. And the best part is once you have all of this set up, it will make filming so much easier. I don't move any of this stuff, and if I do, I put it right back where it's supposed to be when I'm filming. And if you set up the pre-production, it's gonna make post-production when you're video editing so much better, because when you think about it, video editing is just hard enough as it is. It's very time consuming just to get everything right. People cut off the S when it comes to like podcasting. People just, they're sloppy when they're editing, especially if you put it into an AI editor and just have it do everything for you. It could work. You know, you could have like your video have more aperture in it. But the thing is, AI, as of right now, is not perfect. And I don't think that AI will ever be perfect because it will never be as good as what we picture in our head. The more that we set up right now, the better and easier it will be. And you won't need so many AI tools to be fixing your audio, putting a pop filter on your microphone, you know, putting an overlay on your face. This video was actually off the cuff, just showing all of my stuff because I've done this for so long. But what I like to do when it comes to jump cut editing a lot of the time is I like to script out all of my videos into 1 or 2 sentences. Yes, I'm even going to be talking to you about my scripts. I script out everything that I want to say into a video. Sometimes I have ChatGPT help me out, sometimes I don't. Or I have it as an idea, but I never say exactly what is in ChatGPT. So I will have 2 sentences. And by the way, this is not off of ChatGPT. This is all just on the cuff. I will say that 1 line or 2 lines until I got it down perfectly. And then I will just clap so that way it marks on to my microphone where I jump cut and where the end of the take is. Then I go to the next 2 or 3 sentences, and I will say that line again and again and again until I say it perfectly again. Then I cut. And if I clap and then I'm like, you know what? I feel like I still could have done that a lot better. Then I will say that line or 2 again and again until I know it's even more perfect. And then I'll clap twice. So you don't need like one of those expensive clappers. You can just clap, and then that marks the microphone. That's what they use in production studios, and that's how they film in Hollywood. They're a little bit more fancy. You could just, if you are really nervous about like filming and then getting it right, and you don't know how to find the claps in the audio in some sort of audio program, which I use Adobe Premiere, and I also use Adobe Photoshop when I need to. You could just write it on a piece of paper as your clapper, but personally, I think that just takes up too much time, and you want to film things as fast as possible, especially nowadays, so clapping works perfect. And also, when it comes to talking to the camera, a lot of people, they don't look into the lens. They look at their laptop, which is where I read my script. First of all, I want to say my relationship to the camera. I feel like I'm actually talking to someone when I'm talking to the camera, and I use my body language when I'm talking to the camera. I don't have a monotone voice, and I also have a rhythm when I talk, so that way people really feel what I'm saying. When it comes to my relationship with the camera, I sometimes like to think of the camera lens as a person that I'm actually speaking to, like a cyclops. And that helps me form more of a relationship with the camera as if I'm talking to someone, and it makes me more relatable to you rather than just staring at my laptop, reading a script, and then having an AI direct my eyes at the camera lens, which is kind of like cheating. And I don't think that AI is cheating too much, but I feel like if you want to be like someone like a public speaker, then it's a better idea to practice speaking in front of the camera rather than just like reading word for word off of a line. And when I'm looking into the camera, I feel like I'm actually looking at someone. I'm not reciting something off of a script on my laptop. There are AI tools now that you can just read word for word and it looks like you're looking at the screen. And you could do that, but the problem is that for me, when I'm looking at it, I can tell when people blink their eyes that it's the AI taking over, and that's when you just lose me. So over the next maybe 1 or 2 years, I can understand people using that technology, but for now, it's better just to have a comfortable relationship in practice. You're not going to be good at making videos. I'm going to tell you right now, you can have all of this stuff and you're not going to be good at making videos. I have been making videos for years now, and I still feel like I'm not good at making videos, especially when they only get a couple of views, when I spend like 2 or 3 days or even weeks making a video. As someone like Mr. Beast says, and he's got a lot more subscribers and viewers than me, your first 100 videos are gonna suck, and you just have to get through it. That's all. It's a very special rule to understand that practice doesn't make perfect, but practical practice makes perfect. The more that you actually take action and you get through your first 100 videos, because your first 100 videos are gonna suck. They did for me. And me editing this video, I still think that my videos are just not to par. I'm nowhere near the quality of Michael Bay. But as long as I get my message across, that is, in my opinion, the best how-to video. Is very detailed and specific actions that people can take right now to start uploading content and just be better, even if you do or don't use AI technology. I'm not using AI unless you consider Adobe Premiere AI technology. I guess it really depends, because we always move the bar of what AI or AGI really is. So that's about it. I showed you my camera setup, my office setup, my desk. I showed you how I script my videos, how I have my lighting set up. There is nothing now that is setting you aside from actually filming your videos and uploading them. You can do reaction content, you can do podcasting, you can do, just how-to videos, just how I have my whole setup just for you. It took me about, I want to say a couple $100, maybe about $500 just to rip apart this whole room and then just paint it all. I personally like to use green in my office, specifically green for my office, although I do have blue lighting. The reason why I use green is because green is associated with thinking. Each color has its own different unique thing that it tricks our brains into doing things. Like red and yellow next to each other. Think about McDonald's or Wendy's. It gets you hungry. Blue gets you to calm down. Green gets you to think more. Pink makes people feel more feminine. Also, if you want to really get dialed into lighting, another thing is the accent colors. If you look at the color wheel, then you will see that which colors are opposite from each other, and that is how you really stand out. So that's it. All I ask for you to do is subscribe if this video helped you at all. And that's it. I hope you enjoy this video. Peace. All right, guys, I got the cuke. And, well, the last girl ended up in a tree somewhere. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Blanket. Whoa. Well, I am outside. Hello?